And hi everybody out there, Mark Mannering here once again with another 3-Minute Thursday, 3 tips in 3 minutes. We're following on from the previous one. This one is the Excel, or the 3 top Excel time savers part 2, because before this was part 1, which makes a lot of sense. Let's get into it. Tip number 1 says to use the so-called auto-fill options button. Now what the heck is that? Now what I've got here is my data, and I've put in my first formula here, which adds up the data to the left there. And what I want to do is copy that down using the tip we talked about in part 1. Now you'll notice though, I've got different colors for the different sections of my data here. And when I go to the formula here, go to the fill handle and use the tip we learned in part 1, we just double click. And that automatically copies the formula to the bottom. But note how the colors have been changed or overridden by the initial cell that I was copying. What pops up automatically is the so-called auto-fill options button down the bottom here. Now that allows me to change how that data was copied down. So I click that, and the one I'm going to use is fill or copy without formatting. So in other words, copy the formula down, but don't copy the original colors. Click this, just click to deselect. So now you see the formula's been copied down, but not its original color, and the existing colors and formatting are maintained. Tip number 2 is a great way to easily size and move your charts. So as you all know, we can click on a chart here, and I can change the size and shape just by changing or dragging one of the corner handles. But notice how when you do this, it moves smoothly. I can't easily make both charts the same size by sort of visually sizing both and so on. What you do instead is to hold down the Alt key. So if I hold down the Alt key, now try and size the chart from the middle here on the bottom right hand corner. I go click and drag with the Alt key held down. Notice how it's snapping to the spreadsheet grid. Holding down the Alt key allows me to go to the middle handle here, just drag back to the left, and again it's snapping to the grid. Also when I move a chart, so if I hold down the Alt key, click on the second chart here, move the chart around, and again it's snapping to the grid. And the third tip uses the so-called flash fill feature in Excel. We've covered this in other sessions, but for example here I've got my personnel data, and a common issue or challenge is that I've got my names, the names of my personnel, in different columns, and I need to combine them into one column for the full name, for example. Now if you Google this, you would it'll come up with something like concatenate or join formulas or whatever it might be. No, we're going to use the shortcut. Let's create a blank column first to make some room. Right click column C, go insert, make it a little bit wider, and then click in the first cell next to the first example, and we just type it in. Calvin Vance, for example. Press enter. The shortcut is to start typing the next one, Curtis Peck, C-U-R, and so on. And you can see there that Excel's picked up the pattern, gives me a preview. I press enter, press Control down arrow to go straight to the bottom of the column, and there we go, it's all worked. The next important step is to go home early. And there you go, part 2 of 3 great tips you can use in Excel. Save yourself time and go home early. We cover all this in our live online sessions and face-to-face sessions. Have a look there or down there, whatever, for the links to see where to go and look at those particular sessions. Hopefully we'll see you soon. Mark Mannering signing off until next time. Thanks a lot. Bye.